Hey there friends, Foster the Canadian here, and a quick little update on the sign here. If I forgot your name, I sincerely apologize. Just leave a comment on this video, and I will add you to the wall of the greatest subscribers of all time. Which, as you see, contains quite a few of you, but let's get this filled up. I want to see every single sign have a full name on here. A full 4 names, or in some cases 3, because names are a little bit long, or a bit long. I don't know. Here we go. So, whoop, that's the wrong button. Oh, no, backwards. Hold on. No, forwards. There we go. So, as you see here, I'm waiting for the hockey rink to freeze, which should hopefully freeze over soon, because, man, I want to get playing hockey. Okay. We do have a few names for snow golems, though, and snow slugs. So, right here, on the right, we have Thunder Runner. No, wait. On the right, we have Lightning Runner, and on the left, we have Thunder Runner. So, Thunder and Lightning. Lightning and Thunder. Need to remember, right, Lightning, left, Thunder. Alright, there we go. Thunder Runner and Lightning Runner. So, yeah, you guys name those. As well as, we have one of the snow golems is named Jimmy, and, I can't remember what the rest were named, but they all have the same name after that. So, I'll update you guys next episode. Alright. Let's see if we got any potatoes. This episode, we're going to be expanding that area a little bit. And, man, I love making snow golems, so we're going to be making a lot more this episode. We make some shovels, get a bunch more snow golems in here. Get the signs out of the way. Alrighty. Snow golems. Oh, should probably grab pumpkins. I mean, I know I have like 2 stacks of pumpkins already, but you can never have enough pumpkins. Alright, so what I'm thinking, this is a nice little area. Look at that. Beautiful! So what I'm thinking is, I'll cut down this area right here. Like that. And then, I'll expand. This will be like the first building to an expansion village. Let's just quickly get the cobble out here. I'm worried, though, because I'm doing this at nighttime. There's a lot of... Oh, what happened there? Oh, come on! Well... That's a problem. Damn it! Well, I'm gonna have to fix that in a bit. Yeah, you freaking, I see you jerks. Yeah, they do that a lot. They tend to blow up my stuff. Don't like it. Don't like them. They're kind of mean people. Alright, guys, calm down. You might not be able to hear, but they're all yelling and partying right now. So, this should make things a little safer over here. Believe it or not, because I like to climb up on here. Sometimes I have to fix the glass, but it's a little dangerous, because if I fall off the edge, I'm going in the void. Now, if I fall off the edge, I'm just going to land here. That's pretty cool. Just I'm getting tongue-tied, and I'm not even speaking. How is that possible? Alright, so one thing that you guys have let me know is you want to see me construct the buildings and whatnot. You just don't want to see me collect the resources. I think I stated that last time. But you guys also like it when I tell you stories, so I'm going to tell you a story that I'm pretty sure I told on the podcast and maybe told during a live stream, but I know I haven't told during the SkyBlock series, so I'm going to let you guys in on it. Now, this is a story about, I always get a little, I don't know, I feel weird telling this story because there's a part of me that feels like a jerk telling the story because it's essentially me talking about a homeless guy that I don't like. And it feels mean because, you know, he's homeless. But I'm going to tell the story anyway because I don't like him. So, I usually go for walks. Like, I walk a lot. It's my main means of exercise. So, I go out, I walk. And I usually go down roughly the same area. Which is it's a very urban area by a mall and everything. It's a pretty cool place to walk, especially during night with all the lights on. I love the city at night. But there's this one homeless guy. How are you doing this? Okay, we just saw a snow golem being magic. So there's this one homeless guy who hangs out around the area that I walk. And my first interaction with him, he walked up to me and he said, "Hey, look. Do you know how far it is from here to Surrey?" And Surrey is, I guess, a sub-city or a district or whatever in Vancouver. And I said, yeah, I can tell you how to get to Surrey. It's pretty far away, though. It's, 10 kilometers in that direction. And he goes, 10 kilometers? man, do you, my car broke down. I don't have any money for a taxi or anything. Do you think you could give me some money? I go, yeah, I think I have enough so that you can take the SkyTrain, which is, basically a monorail. And he goes, no, they won't let me on the SkyTrain anymore. I'm like, why won't they let you on the SkyTrain? And he went into, like, this really ridiculous story, and I started to realize, you know, this guy was pretty grimy. And I could tell that he was homeless, but I figured he was a homeless guy who was, like, he didn't want people to know he was homeless, so he made up a story. And I was like, all right, you know what? This guy's got some pride left, which, you know, pride is never a bad thing in a situation like this. So I figured, all right, I was going to go get my favorite energy drink, Beaver Buzz, which is roughly $3. But instead, I'm going to give him my money. So, and he was making up this story about, you know, he has kids that he also needs to feed. And it's like, oh man, you have kids that you need to feed. And you need to go to Surrey. And your car broke down. Man, that's a bad situation. So, you know, I hand him the money, a toonie and a loony. And the moment that money landed in his hand, like, I have my arm outstretched. I drop the money into his hand. He looks me right in the eye and he goes, do you know where I can buy some pot? Now, I'm sitting there at that point. Or not sitting, I'm standing there at that point looking at him. My jaw drops and I go, no. And he goes, oh, damn, alright, thanks anyway. And he leaves. Actually, he didn't even thank me. He just said, alright, whatever then. And he left. And he didn't even thank me for it. So I'm sitting there like, I can't, I was gonna have an energy drink, and then he took it from me. Now I have nothing to drink on my walk, which, you know, I like to have a drink on my walk because, you know, I get thirsty. So that kind of upset me. This guy, you know, he takes my money and asks me where to buy drugs. Then, that money was going to go to a Beaver Buzz. Now it's going to go to some dealer. But, alright, so that was a little upsetting. But, the worst part is, a couple weeks later, he walks up to me and he has the same story. And, you know, this time I ignore him. And I walk away and I'm like, oh man, I just thought of the best thing that I could have said to him. And now I've wasted my opportunity. Months go by, 2, 3, maybe even 4 months go by. I'm going to mine a little bit here. And I go walking down the same area. And sure enough, the dude walks up to me again. He doesn't recognize me. My beard is longer, so is his, except, you know, his isn't groomed or anything. He looks like he's been in pretty bad shape. He looked like he aged about 4 years in a couple months, which I'm not going to brag too much on the guy for the way he looks, because that's kind of, that's messed up. But he walks up to me, same exact story. He doesn't recognize me. He gives me the same story. He's like, hey, you know how far it is from Surrey from here? And I'm like, oh, this son of a bitch. This son of a bitch. So I look him in the eye and I go, look, are you bit? And he looks at me and he goes, what? No, I need money so I can I can take a taxi. I go, are you bit, sir? Are you bit? And he looks at me and he's sort of shocked at this time. He goes, what bit? No, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean bit? I go, look, if you're bit, I can't let you in my group. This is going to be dangerous to let you in my group. And at this point, he's like completely confused. And I'm loving it. I am loving it. And he goes, look, I've got these 2 kids that are sick and hungry. I go, those aren't your kids. Those aren't your kids anymore. Those are zombies. Or I don't even know if I said zombies. I think I said Z's. I was reading World War Z at the time. Which I'm trying to friggin' not say World War Z. But he's completely confused, and he's like freaking out at this point, wide-eyed. He starts backing away from me. I go, sir, if you're bit, I don't want you anywhere near my group. And I start storming off, and I hear him like muttering behind me, and he's like freaking out. I turn around, and he goes and he sits down in the corner, and he gets like wide-eyed, and he just starts staring into the street. It was the greatest thing ever. Now, it's one of those things where you always think of the funniest or the best thing that you could have said when you walk away. It's not very often that you get a second chance at it. And I got that second chance, and man, I tell you, that made my night. I went out and freaking got a Beaver Buzz with that money. I drank that Beaver Buzz, and then you know what? I gave the change to a different homeless guy who didn't even ask. Because, why am I doing that? I wanted to make torches. Okay. So yeah, I'm totally cool with people asking for. That sounds weird. I'm totally cool with giving a bit of spare change to homeless guys. I'm not. I don't want to sound like I'm a jerk about it because I didn't give this guy any money. But when you look me in the eye with my arms still outstretched and then ask me where to buy pot with that money that I was gonna spend on an energy drink, I get a little upset. A little bit upset. So yeah, that's my new thing too. Anytime I try to avoid talking with a stranger, I actually, that just reminded me of another story. Not sure if it's a story that I can really tell on here, but anytime that happens, I do the "Are you bit" thing. It's the greatest thing ever. If you don't have change, or if you're being harassed by a homeless guy, just start shouting, "Are you bit?" It's the greatest thing ever. And sometimes they'll know what you're talking about. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, I get it, Walking Dead," or Left 4 Dead, or some zombie story. And other times, it will shock the hell out of them, and they'll be sitting there stunned. I felt like I've been playing Dead Rising 3 lately, and one of the things you can do is shout at psychos to stun them. I feel like that was a stun command for him. Just shouting, "Are you bit?" That stunned him enough, and he's sitting there in the corner like, "What? Am I bit? What? I don't even know anymore." I like to think, that he now believes that there's a zombie apocalypse. And he now thinks that, oh my god, I could be next. So, yeah, that's my story here. Now, another story that I really don't... I'll give you a version that I can tell without being yelled at, because I know that if I go into the full story, someone is going to yell at me for some reason or another. And, yeah, it's probably going to be like 1 out of every 100 people, but those are going to be the guys that watch this and yell at me. But there's this guy who walked up to me, and he started harassing me a little bit. And he was part of some organization. And he was harassing me while I was walking down the street. He stopped me in the middle of the road. And I'm like, "I'm trying to cross the street, dude." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, you can cross the street in a bit." Wait, is there no water here? No, there is water there. So he was harassing me a little bit. And he stops me in the middle of the road. He walks me away from the direction that I was heading in. And I'm going to cook these potatoes. And he tries to get my signature for some form. I don't know what it was. And he asked me my name and everything. And I wanted nothing to do with him. I was off to get a haircut. So I tell him, "My name is Walter White. I'm not originally from here. I'm from Albuquerque." And he's like, "Oh, what are you visiting here for?" And I go, "Well, kind of business, really, when you think about it." He goes, "Really? What would your business bring you all the way to here from?" And I go, "Well, I'm a cook." And if you guys don't know, I was basically telling him that I'm the, some would argue protagonist, some would argue antagonist from Breaking Bad, Walter White. And he had no idea what was going on, and people were like walking by me, snickering. So that's how you troll people who harass you in public. You just start making crap up and freaking them out. And again, I don't like to tell this stuff because I'm not the kind of person who likes to troll people. But I don't like being harassed either. So yeah, that's the story today. I do have a lot of weird stories. If you guys want to know more stories from me, let me know if you want to hear embarrassing stories or crazy awesome stories, because I have stories of heroic victory in video games and in real life sometimes. Like, I have a few good hockey stories. I've got stories from when I was in cadets. Just tell me what you guys want to hear from me, and I'll be more than happy to oblige. Alright, this probably should be a little bit longer. I mean, initially. It will be not too long, but once we get a few more buildings in here, this is going to be a metropolis right here. This is going to be beautiful. There's going to be snow golems and snow slugs everywhere. That there, that right there, and one here. Alright, that's good. Now, where's the... sun... It's about midday. Yeah, about midday. So, I'm going to cut down these trees. Probably, make some fences. Finish up the hockey rink. And, eventually border this area off. Then we can make buildings and more snow golems and all kinds of crazy cool stuff. So, if you guys want your names on the board, leave a comment. And if you let me know what kind of stories you want to hear from me, because if you just name a category, I probably have a story in it. I have a lot of weird stories from, strangely enough, elementary school, because that was when, I don't know, elementary school, I didn't take anything seriously. I don't think anyone does when you're, like in grade 3. But that's when I was the most, I guess, wild. I got a little more controlled. But there was a long time there in elementary school where I was like, I remember during music class I was kicked out because I was being rowdy, and I got kicked out, and then I started banging on the wall, making up like an ad-lib song. And when I say ad-lib song, it was like, I am the greatest, just repeatedly banging on the wall. And then she came out and she goes, what the hell are you doing? And I go, this is music class, I'm making music. And everyone in the class was laughing, and she didn't send me to the principal's office. Instead, she just sent me out the room. So I was like banging on the wall, singing along, and then I got sent to the principal's office, to which I stated that I am just being creative and writing a new song. I don't see what the issue is. And almost got suspended for that. But that's the way I was. I idolized people like Bart Simpson and Dennis the Menace when I was that age. So, yeah, maybe not the best idols for a little kid, but man, I had fun time being a troll again. Man, maybe I am a troll. Maybe I'm an unknown troll. I speak out against trolling, but then I'm doing stuff like this. Huh. I may need to reevaluate my life. Nah. It was fun. Especially that music teacher. Like, she actually wasn't a mean teacher, but she gave me a bit of a hard time, probably because I gave her a hard time. So I did troll her quite a bit. It's funny too, because I remember one time there was this rhythm game that she was teaching us with tennis balls. And here I go telling a story again. But there was this rhythm game we were playing with tennis balls, and you're passing tennis balls around to the rhythm of the music. And it was actually a pretty cool game, and she wasn't a bad music teacher either, playing games like that. But she was, again, giving me a hard time. So we're passing around the tennis ball, and my pockets are full with all kinds of junk. And, the game ends, she asks everyone to return the tennis balls, and she sees my pockets are full, and she goes, give me the tennis balls, Sandy. I go, I don't have any tennis balls. She goes, I see them in your pocket. Give me the tennis balls. And I'm like, no, these aren't tennis balls. And they weren't tennis balls, and she goes, empty your pockets right now. And I got the biggest grin in the world because I knew what was in my pocket. I go, okay. She holds out her hands, so I go, okay, moldy sandwich, yo-yo, we got some cookies, here's some rocks, we got some mushed up hockey cards, we got some jelly beans. I was just emptying the most ridiculous stuff out of my pocket. And when I'm saying, like, all the stuff that I just repeated, those were things that were actually in my pocket. And I think before I got to the end, she went, okay, that's enough. And she threw all this stuff out in the garbage, and I'm like, hey, I was going to eat that. Every kid just burst into tears laughing, and she couldn't control the class for the rest of the session. So, yeah, that was music class. My favorite class back then, too. Oh, we're filled up here. So, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Again, if you want to hear more stories from me, by all means, let me know. Until next time, this is Foster the Canadian. We got Thunder Runner right here. Thunder Runner and Lightning Runner and Fluffy. Hey, Fluffy, saying see ya. Ah, look at him.